This week, although The Rock might be a bald fraud, this man right here is not. All right, welcome everybody to this week's episode of the Cream of the Crop podcast. I am, as always, joined by my two lovely compadres, Olas and KJ. We are here. God, we are here for a full week of fun stuff to talk about. As always, we're going to start with a little This Week in Geek. We're keeping it short this week. The first topic I'd like to talk about is Monster Hunter Wilds is killing it out in the scene right now. They have officially become Capcom's biggest hit, reaching over 8 million copies sold. They have surpassed Cyberpunk 2077 as the seventh highest game count or concurrent game count, with over a million. So they're doing pretty well. I've gotten to play it firsthand, and it's doing pretty well. A lot of it's pretty polished as far as the gameplay. So if you're looking to check,
I could guess the top 10 current games.
yeah, I bet you we could. I bet you we could. Fucking knocking them out. Here's a surprise, guys. Number 7's this random banana game. If you think I'm lying, look it up right now.
Banana.
Banana phone. Banana. God, shut up, Olas. This may or may not be the second time we've tried this. Because for some reason...
How long were we going before we...
Oh, bro, I don't even want to think about it. It's just going to make me angry.
Good 30 minutes.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And it's fine because there was some superheroes we talked
match.
about that definitely didn't need to be talked about, and we're going to leave it at that.
Oh, you mean the...
Nope, we're not going to talk about it. We're going to...
No, you mean Falcon.
Yeah, that's what we meant. Oh, yep.
I'm a Green Falcon, right?
Yep. That's exactly what we were talking about.
Green Falcon.
We did discuss, obviously, that there's been an interesting confirmed casting for Severus Snape.
For the Harry Potter...
in this time I should have looked up the last name to see how it's pronounced. Papa Esudi. Yeah. We're going to assume that's right.
Papa.
Papa. So obviously the people are up in arms about it, obviously, because one, Harry Potter fans are toxic, and if you're a Harry Potter fan and you're watching this, gotta call a spade when it's a spade, okay?
And don't call them that, because that's rude.
Yeah. But so the issue they're running into is obviously Severus Snape has always been referred to and cast as such, as a lanky white snake-like man. And Mr. Papa is very much not that. He's obviously an African American individual.
He's not American.
Is he not American? Sorry, an African. Yeah.
He's black.
He is of African descent.
There you go.
Okay.
It's 2025. I gotta be real fucking careful. Okay, it's I don't want to say that I side with the argument, although I do understand if you're vouching that you are going for a book accurate rendition of the story. It does seem a little odd. I don't think that it's not that he couldn't play the character. It's a little different with comic books because there's so many versions of comic characters that you inherently can go, yeah, like there's a version of Spider-Man that's Latino, or there's a version like you can make that work, where books are a little more difficult because it's just depending on how descriptive the book is of the character. Like if this was just they talk about Snape, but they don't really give a visual description of just kind of he's this unpleasant character. Sure, cast him however the fuck you want, but like the book specifically describes this character multiple times as pretty much Alan Rickman. Like it's I did see something in it. It's awful, but somebody made a comment of like the scenes of them going back to Snape's childhood and Harry's dad beating the shit out of this young poor black boy is gonna look real bad now. And I'm like, oh, that's not gonna be great.
No, no, it's not.
I do hope it's good. Not that I think this needs to be done. We kind of discussed that we would almost prefer some future or past Harry Potter stuff instead of
Just something else.
like I just feel like the
I'm fine with more stuff in the Harry Potter universe, the Hogwarts universe, that whole like whatever, the world of magic and all that. I mean, they said that there's like so many other schools across like the world
yeah
that you could do so many other things and like fuck it, right? Like
uh,
that game that I played, which makes me like a horrible human being, that had nothing to do with that main character of that series that we were talking about, because I can't mention it without being called a piece of shit or whatever. Um, that had nothing to do with that, and I thought it was pretty enjoyable, though I didn't get all the way to the end of it. Only because it's a weird thing where my PS5 did, like, I guess it overheated a couple times,
yeah.
and like, so that was fun. So it would just shut off while I was playing, which is not my favorite thing. But yeah, I don't know how many times do we need to redo the same story again. And I thought it was well done.
Yeah.
My wife is a book reader and still loved the movies. Like, she does hate when things deviate from the books and still loved the movies.
Yeah.
Um, you know,
Like I'm sure there is some storytelling that is left out in the movies, but I just feel like we're so far from that at this point, like that's fine. Just let it be what it is and tell a new
I
story.
I'll say the same thing I say for everything else. Like a Game of Thrones, for example. If you watched the Game of Thrones series and or read the books, you would know that there's of a lot of descriptives in the books that they just can't fucking fit into these shows.
Yeah.
Like, the show, I mean, if they tried to do everything from the books into the shows, they'd still be airing new episodes of Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Because there's so much like drawn out shit. And don't get me wrong, listen, towards the end of the last couple of seasons, they definitely like sped through and rushed a bunch of shit, and I wasn't in love with it, which most people weren't. But same thing with like, especially in the movie format. It's one thing on like a television format; it's a little bit longer of a format. But the
Yeah.
movie format, I mean, you can only fit so much in such amount of time. So like, yeah, did some things get cut? So did some things get switched around? Maybe, sure. Um,
And I do like the push to moving to TV format. I do think
yes.
there's a lot of things that benefit from that. I think I'm at the point Star Wars wise, I'm cool if they never make another Star Wars movie as long as they are able to tell good stories through TV shows. Because I think with as much lore that is in Star Wars stuff, TV shows do that better of giving that time to describe scenarios and describe thought processes. Same with some of the Marvel stuff. I like I said, I watched Captain America over the weekend, and I thought the pacing in that was relatively well. But you got to think a lot of the stuff that they would have talked about, they did a TV show in regards to
Right.
with Falcon Winter Soldier.
Which I like that show.
I did too. The ending of it just gets me every time, and it's not even like I understand the political statement they're going for, and it's an important one for that franchise. The part that does it for me is hey, there's these terrorists that have killed like millions of innocent people, and they're just misunderstood.
Yeah.
Uh, I don't know if I can get behind that one,
Yeah.
but yeah, I'm fine with that format change on some of this stuff because I guess because I've seen so many Marvel movies that weren't told. I mean, perfect example is Eternals. Eternals to me would be a great TV show, but it had no business being a movie.
It also was not set up for success
Yeah, that's true too.
because it was following like all the end game stuff,
Yeah,
and it was a bunch of characters that they did not introduce at any point in
like
time.
unless you were already a Marvel fan that understood who the
Right.
Eternals were, no Joe Blow's gonna go, who the fuck are these guys? Like I've never.
Right, but these movies are made for more of a casual. Now, they're doing a lot of, maybe not necessarily the story arcs that certain people want, but they are following some story arcs pretty well. But yeah, I mean, the movies are geared towards a more casual
Yeah.
viewership. My wife is a perfect example. My wife has never picked up a comic, never got into any of the like lore of things, but really got into the movies.
Yeah, I mean it's
Like that's for her. And even she was like, I don't know who these people are, but like I know the actors, some of the actors at least, and like, okay, I'll watch it for this and
yeah.
whatever.
No, I mean I
But
think I really like Anthony Mackie. I think he plays a good Cap. I do like the struggles they go with as far as the differences between Steve Rogers' Captain America and his Captain America and the representation.
This guy's captain. His real name's Clarence. I'm sorry.
Oh my god.
It's-
Wild,
I'm sorry.
wild 8 Mile reference we just pulled there. Second. And then just to touch on a
he
few
also lives at home with both parents.
both parents.
And Clarence parents have a real good marriage.
Jesus. So for all you people whose birthdays start with a 2 in the year, that is a movie about Eminem, but not really
not the
Eminem.
candy.
Jesus.
I'm sorry. The ending of Revolution just happened and it pissed me the fuck off.
Don't spoil it. We have an episode next week.
Spoil it.
Yeah.
No.
Also, one of the actresses broke kayfabe on live on
well,
pay-per-view.
Yeah, it tracks.
No, she just talked about how like, oh, well, y'all already know who's gonna win anyway. So thanks for teaching me that. Why?
Jesus.
Of all things you could have said.
It's
Fuck did you say
AEW where the
that?
best come to wrestle. So just touch on a few other topics we have, and then I know Alas has a topic he wants to touch on. Battlefield 6 had some test footage leaked that looks relatively promising. The overall speculation is that it is good. Some new additions and new gameplay systems as far as being able to drag teammates out of danger when they're down, and stuff of that nature. I do hope it's successful. I'm excited to see what all they keep for this, and I hope Battlefield 6 is the comeback for Battlefield games. I say that knowing damn well that this is an EA franchise, and I should have my expectations way lower than they are. I was at, or is that part of what you're touching on?
No.
Okay.
The only exception to that for me is the Jedi games.
Yeah, is EA the main?
They were technically under EA, but they were
because it's
Lucas
Respawn,
Art.
isn't it? Or is it Lucas?
Yeah, that too. Well, I think Respawn is part of Lucas or LucasArts is part of Respawn. I forget how that works.
And then Call of Duty's obviously for those FPS nerds, Call of Duty's bringing back their Verdansk OG map. And it has been speculated on some undercover board meetings that I have the inside scoop on. That if Verdansk doesn't really bring back a following count that Activision is wanting, that we are looking at possibly the end of Warzone for Call of Duty, which I am not totally against, and I would like to see a comeback of the arena style Call of Duty. Hell, I ended up loading up just because I was bored. I played through Call of Duty 4 and Modern Warfare 2, and was like, oh my god, I forget how good these games used to be, and I want to go back to that.
It does come off as a desperate plea. Like, hey, our player base is down. Come back and play us, please. Otherwise, we're going to cut away these features you love. And it's like,
here's the thing.
All right, fuck it, do it, bitch. Like that.
Yeah, really. Like, yeah. What are you gonna do? Here's where I think Warzone fails, because it's hard not to compare it to battle royals like Fortnite, who are still going, but even Fortnite's kind of diving back into that. Hey, here's the OG stuff you used to play, and I just don't think they tried to make Warzone bigger than what it should have been. Instead of, I think Fortnite was successful in a game because they continuously vaulted and changed gun rotations, because it is very difficult to balance 30 guns in a game. Like any game. Like it's not just a shot at Call of Duty, but when you have 3 different Call of Duty guns in one battle royale and you're only really balancing one set of them, something's going to get broken. And I think for me, that kills a lot of it. Obviously, the camping in it kills a lot of it for people. And I mean, there's been plenty of streams I've had where we make it all the way to the end to one person camping on a fucking top of a skyscraper that just ends my game. Talk about make you slam your hand through a screen. But I'm hoping we're seeing the end of the battle royale genre. I would like to.
Never.
There's 2 genres I need to die. The battle royale is one of them. Outside of like Fortnite and like PUBG, I'm fine with keeping those 2 particularly. I need in the live service genre dying, even though was it EA we talked about a few weeks ago says that's the future of gaming is the live or Ubisoft, yeah, because those guys are doing great right now. But you know it is what it is.
In 10 days as of this recording, we will find out how that goes.
I still say they're gonna push it back again.
I hope they don't, but if they do, I hope it's because they're like, "Oh, we found a bug.
Yeah,
like let's
fix it."
Like, and that's the thing. Like, we've definitely said this before. I've definitely said this before. Like, I'm cool with stuff getting delayed.
Yeah,
if it means the product that comes out is not what we've been getting for years now of just buggy, glitchy, shitty messes. And it's like, I'm just curious. Like, the they test these games before they put them out.
You would think.
Are who's testing them? First of all,
yeah.
Second of all, like, are they testing the same version they're putting out, or is there like something like, I could understand to an extent, like, hey, we put it out, and then with the amount of people coming in, like, what was it, Helldivers, I guess, when it first launched, they had way more people than they expected to. Shit was kind of a mess. Okay, that's different, right? Like, oh, we didn't expect it to be this big of a launch, right? That's fine, but if like your shit's just not working, a la fucking what's the Starfield people, Bethesda,
yeah.
that it's funny for like a haha joke of like, oh, it's just a feature, not a glitch, like blah blah blah, whatever. But yeah, I'm cool with shit getting pushed back if it means we're getting a finished product.
Game. Yeah.
30 years ago, we never had this problem. 20 years ago, we never had this problem. 15 years ago, we never had this problem.
Yeah. Shit was done on release, usually.
The last like 10 or so years, it's been like, oh, well, like No Man's Sky is a perfect example of something that came out like shit. Now, it's
apparently great now.
The amount of updates and different things that they've done, and everything came out much better now, but launch was terrible. I mean, how many things are early access these days? Because and to me that seems like kind of a cover your ass type of situation where it's like, hey, it's early access, this way you can't like sue us for putting out a fucked up game. Yeah. And like, I'm cool with early access stuff of like, here's our roadmap of like how we're gonna do things and what we plan to do. Famously like 7 Days to Die, when they finally came out with the like stable. It was like, here's our game plan of what we're gonna do. I just Ready or Not, we were just talking about that before. Ready or Not's one of those where it's like, hey, here's what we're planning in the future. Like, here's our roadmap.
Yeah.
Even something stupid like what was that game? Fast Food Simulator we played, and it has a roadmap of like, hey, these are the things we're gonna add. I'm cool with
TCG Card Shop Simulator had a roadmap with it.
Right.
Yeah, it's pretty sad in a day where like in like small titles like that are being more consistent with their games and updates than AAA companies can be now.
So that does lead me to part of my topic.
Good. I knew that would help.
I saw a thing go out, and I don't remember if I sent you the video or not. I might have. But I saw a thing go out where people are complaining about the price of games, which is a fair enough complaint for like your heavy titles being like 60, 70, whatever, especially if you're talking the deluxe package or the
Yeah.
ultimate package or the whatever the fuck. Like my buddy's a big Civilization fan and he played the shit out of Civ 6. Civ 7 came out last month, and for like the super duper amount where you get like all the future or whatever the fuck, it's like $130,
Jeez.
which is crazy, right?
Yeah.
But I'm seeing people where it's like the length of games has to coincide with the price of the game, which I don't think makes as much sense as people think it does.
Okay.
Because I saw people saying like for every $10 I spend, or like whatever, every dollar I spend should be the amount of hours I put into the game. So like for a $70 game, I should be putting at least 70 hours into the game.
Okay. Yeah.
And I'm like, does that really work with every game though? Like what
No.
happens if it goes over 70? Should you pay more than 70?
Yeah.
Like how does that, Baldur's Gate, for example, I have over 150 hours. Should I have paid
Chill out.
$150 for
Yeah.
that fucking game?
Pay up.
Like that's where it gets weird to me. And like,
You
hey,
can't.
listen, there are some indie games, like we were just saying, like
Yeah.
there's some indie games where we've played a fuck ton of hours for a game that I spent $10 on,
Yeah.
maybe 15. Phasmophobia, for example. Like how
Phasmo.
many hours have we put into Phasmophobia?
Yeah, I think like Among Us. I mean, even though like we haven't touched it in a long time, but like
Yeah.
we put a shit ton
Okay.
of time in Among Us that was a free,
Right. Gary's mod.
Yeah.
How many hours have we put in the three of us? How many hours have the three of us put into Gary's mod? And that game was like $10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, so
I
are you telling me that I should pay by the hour? Like, I don't. It's a weird
I
thing. You can
understand the
argue.
sentiment. Like I get
Yes.
where you're coming, like where the expectation of, hey, like I'm paying $10 for this game and I'm getting triple the playtime and enjoyment out of it that I am for these $70 games. You can't
Sure.
really put a blanket number on games as a whole because games are all so different.
Different.
You have your Baldur's Gate games that are meant to be, hey, you can dump hundreds of hours into this game and still not even touch everything that we have put into it. Whereas like your Call of Duties, your Battlefields, most of that playtime is going to be given in a multiplayer standing of, although the game itself content wise ends at say 12 hours of content story wise or whatever you want to put it as,
Right.
you're going to get that much more in just playing multiplayer with other people.
Sure.
So yeah, like I get the sentiment, but I don't think it's an accurate. I'm like you. I don't think it's a good way to judge that.
Well, yeah.
I don't think there's any game that I've paid $50 to $60 for that I've gotten that amount of time outside of like your Skyrims and your Fallout and your your
Well,
in-depth
again,
single player.
I paid. I think it was $60 for Baldur's Gate. I think that was a game where I spent the full price on the game, and I got more than what I thought I was going to get out of it, which
Yeah.
is great.
Yeah.
Even if we just keep it down to like single player games, because like a big knock on like Spider-Man 2, you just started playing
Yeah.
a couple weeks ago. I think what KJ, what is it, like 25 hours full, like ish,
I wouldn't even say that. Yeah, it's
maybe
20,
20-ish,
25.
25.
20, 20, 25.
It's 20 to 25 hours of like gameplay,
Yeah.
full price game. But if you enjoy the game, isn't it worth it?
Yeah. And
I mean,
it's a
again, we
person
could
to
argue
person
the
thing.
price of we could argue the price of games is getting ridiculous.
We
But like
we also
even just
live
for
in a society where people have to. There's no time consumption. Spider-Man being a great example is that people get those games and then blow through them and finish them in a day. Where it's like, well, yeah, you're gonna constantly have that wanting of something new because you're just immediately just no lifing it,
right,
and then sick of it. Like I don't know. I understand if you wanted to put that in, hey, like if I'm paying $70, the least this game could be is finished and working.
but that's, to me, that's a completely different argument.
Yeah.
And that's why I said like I'm okay paying for something that's done.
Yeah. If it's
And hopefully I
$70
get
and it works
enjoyment
on
out of it.
release and is good, sure. because it's tough because like I said, when I grew up, hell, I think when the two or three of my favorite games being like Tony Hawk Underground and then the Budokai series, I paid like $20 a pop for those games when they came out. Like that was, but they were done games that had multiple hours of enjoyment. Yeah, I don't agree with the sentiment, although I understand where they're getting with it of like the cost benefit to what I'm putting into it to what I'm getting out of it.
Right.
But I don't think you can put a time frame at a dollar amount.
No.
So that's where it kind of loses me as far as I get the enjoyment per what I'm spending, but not every game is going to have the same amount of time into it as others.
Right.
And even kind of like you said, if I get 100 something hours, does that mean I should have paid $100 for this? Like it's a real double-edged sword in that kind of manner.
Oh, and I lied.
Oh
You want to know
no!
how many hours You want to know how many hours I have in Baldur's Gate?
How much?
Guess.
What was your initial assessment?
I said 150.
300.
I'll go in the middle, say 200.
Higher.
Higher.
280.
400.
Higher.
Higher than mine?
Both. Yes.
Jesus Christ, how much Baldur's Gate do you fucking play?
553 hours of gameplay.
Jesus.
I didn't even know that.
Good
Sir,
Lord.
you have a problem.
I was doing multiple playthroughs.
You
I did a
have
single player playthrough. I did a me and another buddy playthrough. Me and two other buddies playthrough. Me
You
and
and Raven playthrough that probably hasn't
right,
been
yeah.
finished.
It hasn't. I told him the other day. I said, we should finish that game. Like, especially with the last update coming out soon.
Yeah, I know one of my friends has been saving a bunch of mods for it. Cause I heard something about them adding like a drunken master class.
Yes.
Where I'm like,
So
shit, I might have to.
The last update that's supposed to be coming out, and I mean, other than fixing bugs, but like the last actual content update is they just added a subclass to every class.
Yeah.
So every class usually has, most classes have like 3-ish subclasses to them, and then they're adding like a subclass to each of the different ones. I know like wizard has multiple subclasses, cleric has like a ton of subclasses. But like your rogues only have like 3 subclasses, they're gonna get a fourth. Fighter has 3, they're getting a fourth. Monk has 3, they're getting a fourth. That drunken master.
Oh, I might have to do that one just to be Jackie
Yeah,
Chan my ass around.
There's a couple of ones I really want to mess around with that I'm like, oh well, here goes
But even
another
just the
5 minutes.
mods, like I've seen all the race mods they put in where you can be just a plethora of different characters and races.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean it's a good aspect of a question, but it's a lot of preference and what you're willing to put into it.
I just realized how many hours I have in one game.
Gary's
That is not technically a game. No.
Is it banana?
No. Usage time 2,789 hours. No.
Wallpaper generator.
Wallpaper engine, yeah.
Oh yeah.
I have almost 3,000 hours in this.
Yeah, that doesn't count though, because it tracks even when you're not like in the app. It's just using the wallpaper itself.
I just looked at it, started chuckling. How much do I have in SoundPad? 697.
That's I figured.
In just SoundPad.
I'm curious.
I have 142 and a half hours in Phasmophobia.
Where is it you all see in Steam that shows?
Library.
Use the library and click the game. It'll give you how much playtime.
Let's see what I would think. Here, I'll give my Baldur's Gate. I have 20.9 hours. Such a dramatic
That's actually
difference.
impressive, seeing as how I don't think you've gotten very far.
I've not gotten past the first act.
Yeah.
Oh, Gary's mod. Here's gonna be the fun one. 606.6 hours.
I'll see mine. I have dialed mine back. I'm at 270.
I'm at 736.
Yep, there it is.
Bada bing, bada boom. The name Raccoon.
Yeah, I think Jesus Christ. That caught me off guard.
I'm sorry.
Fuck
Isn't
it.
the Dragon Ball Abridged reference. I didn't say coon.
Yeah,
No, I
no,
know
it's
you
not. It just was you saying that in general. Just the raccoon reference was really.
You gotta bleep that part out.
Well,
Yeah, bleep that. Sorry, more out.
yeah, it looks like Gary's mod is
Raccoon.
my, which is sad.
Here we're back to that other stuff we were laughing about before.
Nope.
Black Power.
Stop. All
What?
right.
No, I'm
No,
kidding.
we're just like that. It's time for games. So we're continuing on our which one of these characters doesn't belong game series. If you're never caught this before, it's basically I'll give the two individuals here, I'll give them 5 characters from video games or video game related, and they have to tell me one, which character doesn't fit out of this group, and 2, why is it they don't fit out of this group. We start with the gaming one to end our gaming section, and then end with a wrestling one to start our wrestling section. So if you ever wonder, a good point, if you're only into one section, that's a good way to find where you want to start. So good luck. These are gonna be fun.
Oh, he's making them harder every week, this motherfucker.
Just
by the tone.
Any of them.
So, because the gaming one's usually going to be just you, LS, because KJ just doesn't play games ever, I guess. This guy met this guy playing games and just claims he never plays games. So your 5 characters,
I don't know most games.
all are game related. Some of them are also have relations in other media, as far as books, movies, etc. But they are all of these characters, besides one, are involved in a specific game.
Oh,
so
you're giving me the kind of context there.
It needs it because the characters will look really
Okay.
random, if although they're supposed to. But this one in particular,
They're all in Smash.
no. So the 5 characters are Doom Guy, Wolverine, Spider-Man, Jango Fett, and Master Chief. I was really excited about this one. I've had this one in my head for 2 weeks now.
I was about to say they're all in Mortal Kombat, but no.
Nope. I like seeing the wheels turn.
Spider-Man, Wolverine, Master Chief, Doom Guy. Who's the other one? I'm sorry. There's 5,
Jango
right?
Fett.
Jango Fett. Yeah. I like the not game guy still tried to give a guess though.
Hey, listen.
Hey, I'll take any help.
Because you know what? Because sometimes he'll say something and I'll go, "Oh, this triggered something in my brain that makes me think it's this."
Oh Lord. All right, what you want to talk it through? See what what's your thought process as of right now? What do you?
I'm trying to think because you said. Say it again, because they all appear in.
They all appear in a specific game, but one of them.
I want to say it's Master Chief because.
Okay.
I don't know why though. It has to be some type of fighting game.
I'm gonna say Jango Fett because he doesn't appear in Fortnite.
Incorrect on both accounts.
Okay.
So I will say this.
I was gonna say like Boba Fett appears in Fortnite, but I don't think Jango Fett appears in Fortnite.
KJ is right. It is Master Chief.
Okay.
I want to see if you can figure out why it's Master Chief.
I want to say they're very liberal in what Master Chief's actually been in. So, a game with Jango Fett, Wolverine, Spider-Man, and fucking Doom Guy.
Bless you.
Oh. I would have guessed Fortnite too.
That's
Call
a fair one. Nope.
Damn it.
I'm trying to think of because like Spider-Man and Wolverine appearing in a game together doesn't,
Yes.
like, oh, okay, yeah,
Any
they
Marvel
appeared in a
game.
like,
It can't be a Marvel game though.
Spider-Man and X-Men, Arcade's Revenge. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, Spider-Man and Wolverine were in that game. Great. Like, no, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
this is 35 years ago. Um, uh, what the fuck? Yeah.
I'll even blow your mind with this hint. It has nothing to do with a fighting game.
Fuck. Then I got nothing.
I feel like I'm worse off.
So we
Like,
throwing it in. We throwing
yeah.
So the topic was Doom Guy, Wolverine, Spider-Man, and Jango Fett are all hidden characters in a Tony Hawk game.
Oh.
Shit. Yeah.
Because for those that just I don't know if we spoke on this the last time. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 and 4 did get confirmed. That is the remake. And the pre-order purchase or DLC for it is Doom Guy. Because Doom Guy was one of the hidden characters in the OGs. I did find out about that. They took out the story mode in 4. So 4 was the first, maybe not the first one, but they'd introduced like the story mode into Pro Skater 4. They're taking that out and just doing the classic style of the 2-minute run. Which at that point, I don't feel like you can call it a remake. If you're taking out a main focal point of the game. So I was going to get
the first game to do that.
Yeah, I was going to get it, but now I'm kind of like, well, I mean, I'll just wait for it to go on sale at that point. Like,
yeah, I'll wait till it goes on sale, maybe. Although I didn't get the 1 and 2, so maybe I don't know.
I guarantee they'll do an on sale bundle with that. I would not surprise.
Yeah,
there's no way they wouldn't. All right, say half a point. You figured out who it was. That's what matters. So now our wrestling one. This is such a fun cast of characters.
New Jack.
No. So for your wrestling characters, we have wrestlers. They aren't characters; they're real people. We have Ricochet. Porto's favorite person, Hulk Hogan. Swerve Strickland. Christopher Daniels. And Kenny Omega. I saw I was looked back and I realized I've only ever used WWE guys. I definitely had to throw some non-WWE ones this time around.
In what category are Kenny Omega and Ricochet in the same category? So,
I mean, the obvious would be like Hogan didn't appear in AEW kind of thing, and it's like, okay, that would be the obvious. But I feel like
no.
Would I really do the obvious one?
Yeah,
no, that's not.
So part of me goes, maybe you would just to fuck with me.
Just one of these is going to be a super like.
Give me the list again.
It is Ricochet, Hulk Hogan, Swerve Strickland, Christopher Daniels, and Kenny Omega.
You know what? Fuck it. We're going
Confidence, I love it.
Swerve.
Okay.
And he's the only who's never wrestled in Japan.
Incorrect on both.
Damn it. I wanted to go out.
Because I had to think about that because I was like, all of those guys
have wrestled in Japan.
Yeah,
and then
Hulk Hogan did it twice in the same day.
No, he did like 3 days.
Added 3 days to his life.
Because of the time change.
Yeah, time change. That's how it works.
I was so confident with that.
That's a good guess. It's a good guess.
All right.
Out of this 5, I had one that originally that I was going to put in here, but it would have made it way too obvious.
It's probably Hulk Hogan.
No. Don't assume. Be confident.
Kenny Omega, because he never wrestled in a mask.
Oh,
Got it.
fucking A.
Nailed it.
Mr. America.
Mr. America.
God damn it.
So, just for those watching that aren't aware, Ricochet obviously wrestled as Prince Puma.
Prince Puma.
Hulk Hogan, also known as, was it Mr. America? Was that the?
Yeah.
Okay, I
Mr.
couldn't remember. It was
America.
Mr. America.
He wanted to go with Captain America, but
Yeah.
legally.
Swerve
Rip
Strickland.
off 2 Marvel characters.
Oh my god.
Killshot.
Swerve Strickland also wrestling in the same promotion as Prince Puma, as Killshot. Can you tell me who Christopher Daniels' masked persona is?
Curry Man.
Curry Man. I was a huge fan of Curry Man, and it blew my fucking mind that that's Christopher Daniels.
Was he?
I think he also did Suicide at one point.
Yeah.
I didn't want to do that one.
Although I think that was Kazarian more than it was Daniels. I don't remember, to be honest.
I didn't want to do that
TJP.
one because a few people played that character, like Kazarian,
Yes,
Daniels, Aries, all kind of donned that mask. TJP.
Yeah.
So
I think Omega, not Omega Red.
I think Omega Red did. At one
Yeah,
point.
he did do it as well.
Too many people.
I didn't. So the one that I was gonna throw in here, but I do think it would have made it really obvious, was
Dominic Mysterio.
I was gonna put Gregory Helms, who is the Hurricane.
Oh.
Apparently, it would have been obvious for KJ.
Sorry. That name.
Who the fuck is that?
Who the fuck is that guy?
That guy.
Well, congratulations. It's been a while since we've had a 100% on that one. I definitely thought I was going to, because I thought the Hulk Hogan was going to throw you guys off.
Well, that's what I said. I mean, the obvious choice would have been
Hogan.
It's a bunch of guys that are in AEW currently, except for Hogan.
Because I had to go double check, because I was like, man, I would have assumed Kenny Omega at some point in his life would have like donned a mask and a persona. But
No.
I'll be damned, no, not once. All right, so our favorite part is time for the wrestling.
I did it for the Rock.
I did it for Bianca. Quite a week. We've had some title changes. We've had some excellent promos. Some promos that, per speculation, got people in trouble. I'm not sure if that's true or not. We had some more Hall of Fame news. And we had the biggest topic of the week is that it is confirmed that Randy Orton is an Elden Ring guy. Not a Fortnite guy. That's for kids. Elden Ring only. What class do you think Randy Orton can mains?
Hero.
Yeah. So where should we start first, Jim? Was there a topic in particular you wanna start the show off here with? Not everybody.
We have to do it on the best acting of the week with Jade, Bianca, and Naomi.
The crying was rough. Like
it sounded genuine.
It did. I will give it. It did very much didn't sound like fake crying. Like it sounded very emotional, but it was still kind of hard to listen to.
It's a hard listen.
Which maybe that's the point. Maybe that's what the go-to was there. But I could only imagine listening to that live, like in the arena. Obviously we have Naomi came out and confessed that she did it. She did it for The Rock. She did it for the Bloodline, and she did it for Bianca. Because Jade was riding Bianca's coattails. I'm still not sold that Bianca's not in on this.
It seems like she isn't at this point. They're just like, fuck it, Bianca's gonna be a babyface forever.
I don't know. I still think there's time to manipulate this story a little.
And then
further.
In 20 years, she'll
turn heel at her retirement tour.
She'll kick Roxanne in the groin and align with Becky. I don't know. I'm trying to think of like who would be like the
Who is the
you know,
Rock of the female?
yeah,
Charlotte Flair.
yeah.
Charlotte Flair.
Charlotte
Oh
Flair.
god, yeah, that's fair.
Charlotte Flair.
Charlotte Flair. It's absolutely.
It's Alondra Blaze.
Jesus.
Yes, it is.
I want your soul in the trash can.
Trash.
In the trash can.
She just pulls out the trash can.
Oh god. But yeah, we all kind of assumed. I do like getting your head crushed in only accounts for you needing a neck brace for a week. That's
Not even a week.
not even a week, yeah, like a few days. And then she proceeds to take that bitch off and go, I don't need this shit. Fuck this bitch.
She did wear a neck brace
That's
to the
bedazzled.
premiere of Queen of the Ring.
Oh, did she?
Yes.
Oh Lord.
Keeping kayfabe alive.
For now, at least.
Until it wasn't.
Until it wasn't. But that's a topic for next week.
Fucking.
We had. I will say I do think Jade looks really good. I hope the in-ring work I hope whatever. I don't know. Was she actually hurt or anything, or was this just a storyline to get her out for a little bit? Or
So everyone's trying to say, oh, it was a work, but it's like it seemed like a legitimate injury. So, Sean Ross Sapp is like, for everyone reporting that it's a work, and she just wanted time off because of the European tour. Basically saying that means she worked over the medical team, like everyone involved, everyone
Yeah.
that would have said no, this is a legitimate injury.
Yeah.
So she probably did get injured, changed plans, and kept it moving.
See, I had at first just assumed like this was a work, not in the, like she needed time off, but like to help her get a little more training under her belt before going forward. I'm not saying, that's nothing wrong with that. I mean, if you got to write that in so you can gain a little more experience. But I wasn't sure because the reporting seemed like it was a rather legit injury, but I feel like we've also seen that before.
Reports.
But I did think she looked good. I thought I did like how she faked her out at the chamber, which I know we kind of talked about, and then proceeded to give her another beat down on Friday Night SmackDown. Speaking of beat downs, how do we feel about the CM Punk starting the show pipe bomb? Colin, yeah, got chills, got goosebumps.
Fucking fraud.
Fucking bald fraud.
Kicking over the prime bottle.
Yeah, just one more F you to Logan Paul. So
Deserved.
yeah, I mean that's fair.
There's one part that I didn't like.
Okay.
One line. If you know AEW history, you know exactly where everyone just raised their eyebrow at. I didn't need a fake I didn't need to carry around a fake championship and call myself the People's Champion. Sir, you took the AEW belt, spray painted an X on it, and called yourself the real world champion. Stop the cap.
But didn't he earn that? Didn't he win?
No.
Oh, he didn't. See,
Because he
bear with me because I'm, AEW.
The whole point of him having that belt is because he got stripped because of Brawl In.
Okay.
The only thing I would say to that is because there were supposed to be plans for that, as opposed to the Rocks
just having a belt.
Having a belt.
Can I hold
Yeah.
yours?
That's the only reason I went, okay. Like,
because wasn't the plan to merge the belts with him versus MJF 3?
I believe so.
Because at that point, MJF would have been champion. Yeah.
Like, I think he
MJF
was going to
would've been
have a
champion.
title defense, like, against, I think it was Ricky Stark. And
Yeah,
then
at
it
All
was
Out.
going to lead to
MJF
them
versus
unifying. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So, like, they're kind of doing the undisputed title thing that, like, him and Cena did.
Yeah. But I'm just saying. It was a what do you call this kind of moment?
But no, I mean I thought it was a really good promo. I'm assuming obviously they're setting up Mania is going to be Seth and him.
Yeah,
it is,
and Roman.
So I've heard a few speculations on different things. So the first one being that I guess this promo supposedly got CM Punk in trouble. That to no one's surprise he went off script. I don't know why that seems to be a surprising thing, but that he's been pulled from a bunch of future shows up till WrestleMania. I don't know how true this is. I haven't seen any
I
like confirmation from any WWE staff or anything. So, and even
I'm curious as to where you saw that at
it was
all, because
I've
I haven't seen it at all.
I've
Like
seen a few
that's
things on through TikTok and Twitter where, and give it's nothing. I'm not saying it's anything reliable. Just when I start seeing it in a consistent amount, I'm starting to like, okay, like somebody's getting this from somewhere. Where is it particularly? Um, but nothing like WWE official has come out and said that or shown that. But there's been, I guess, what was one of the things I saw was like promotional gear for the show. Like he had been pulled from a lot of the promotional, like, hey, see this come see these people on this Raw. And I guess at first he was on a lot of it and now isn't on any of it. So I don't know if that's where they're getting it from, which I mean, that could mean a variety of things. It doesn't mean that he was in trouble for a promo.
Yeah.
And even then, out of the promos he's done, this has been one of the more mild mannered ones as far as CM Punk promos.
except I got to say bullshit twice.
Yeah, gonna have to pay for that one on Netflix.
Yeah.
I'm trying.
You said they were going to cancel on Netflix, and they didn't say anything that would.
Yeah, I did see where they've talked that Netflix has actually been more critical of like the censorship than the network was, which I think was kind of surprising. I think it was Michael Cole talked about that on Logan Paul's podcast. Was that they all kind of assumed like they'd have a little more lax ability, but Netflix has actually been more critical, which I guess was unexpected. Um, and I sat there and said I had two things that I saw, and I've done forgot what the other one was. Oh man. I do. So I think there's a huge hit to this right now. Is that with all this stuff going on, I don't think anybody gives a shit about Jey Uso's thing with Gunther at the moment. They got to do something with that that's got to really bring. You know what? I take it back. I don't want to say nobody gives a shit about it. I don't think that's fair. I do think it's
It
starting to get shadowed a bit.
It doesn't
Well, I
help
mean,
that they involved fucking A-Town Down of all people
Yeah, that
in
was
this
a
feud.
choice. I just can't stand them. I'm gonna be honest.
You're devaluing the championship when you do dumb shit like involve them.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. Um,
You're telling me he has Ludwig Kaiser's not like he's right there.
right.
yeah,
Like
that's odd.
why them?
That is kind of odd that they're
They
not
went
using
from
Imperium.
their usage is even more random than anything because they went from challenging for the NXT World Champion in a three-way
Yeah.
for some weird reason to now feuding with Jey Uso in his build towards the World Heavyweight Championship. So what are they doing at all?
I
Yeah,
my thing is they've been on and off teasing them
breaking up.
splitting for like the better part of a year now.
Just
To
do
where
it.
I'm just kind of like do it. Even if it's like, hey, it leads to a match at Mania or whatever, just to get them on the card. Fine, whatever, fine. Or they split up at Mania in a tag match, like whatever it ends up being. I just want them to kind of pull the trigger on it already, because like
It's
I,
getting old.
it wouldn't bother me. Like them being a team doesn't bother me until they start doing the constant like, will they or won't they like fight thing.
Yeah, it's such a slow burn that it's starting to burn.
Yeah.
You know.
Because like I thought when they put them together, it was a pretty good pairing.
Yeah,
Like just two cocky, like
assholes.
asshole guys. Like you're like, all right, perfect. Like these guys both have punchable faces. This works out. Like, all right, perfect.
Yeah, and it's a shame because I kind of like the stuff they're doing with Gunther of like, him taking out Tozawa. Although I will say it was nice to see him not just absolutely bury Tozawa, like Tozawa actually put up a fight and go out swinging kind of thing.
Yeah, people forget that Tozawa is like solid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I do like the, giving them a chance to show that they're not trash and shit like that. I've enjoyed it. It's like it feels muddied down randomly having A-Town down and not relying on his other teammate to be out there to cause issues. And I know Ludwig's got this whole thing with Penta and with Pete Dunne that doesn't feel like it's going anywhere, but
No, because they need two people for when
Ray
his brother
Phoenix.
debuts. Yeah.
Ray Phoenix. Yeah, didn't you say that he's officially been released?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I'm curious what that contract looks like as far as non-compete. What's the
They don't.
usual or does
To
they
AEW
don't
not
really-
to my
do?
knowledge, they don't have a non-compete.
Ooh,
But also he could be just a free agent at this point.
okay.
So
Monday could be interesting.
Well, they did say he was a free agent, like because they
Yeah.
took him off the AEW page. Like they didn't. I don't think they have confirmed that he was released or anything like that. I think the added time that they put on his contract might have just run out. I'm not 100% sure. So it's possible.
Go through my list here.
Yes.
I did. I thought it was really. We were wrong. Or well, I shouldn't say we. I was wrong about the. Which one does Lyra have? Is it the Intercontinental or the United States? Intercontinental. Okay. I was wrong. I definitely thought Dakota Kai was gonna. The whole point of them redoing that match was so that Dakota Kai could get the championship. So I whiffed that call. I'm curious who they're going to set her up with, because I assume does she defend at Mania? I would think you would have to with this brand new title. You have to. This brand new title you just dropped.
Remember, last year they did the whole Raw, WrestleMania Raw, WrestleMania SmackDown, and then did the 2 nights. With Triple H's whole 4-match card, yeah, it's not. At best, you're gonna get 6 matches on each card.
And what we got so far? We have the 2 title championship matches. So Gunther and
the 4.
The 4.
Oh well, yeah.
The 2 men's titles,
2 men,
the
2
women's
women's
titles.
You already have 4 out of that.
So what is? I mean, Cody's
12?
definitely main eventing one of those, correct?
Yes.
But Jay, I don't think Jay and Gunther are main.
Jay, night 1 probably.
But
you also have Roman, Seth, and Punk.
Oh, there you go. Thank you for saying that. That was the other thing that I saw speculations of, was like the whole.
It's a triple threat.
Is that
he's going to interfere in the Madison Square Garden cage match, and then that. So that,
because they talked about why he wasn't in Chamber and stuff like that, where they didn't want him to be pinned in the Chamber because they wanted him to look strong for, I guess, Mania. But yeah, supposedly he's supposed to interrupt that not Hell in the Cell, but cage match. And then I guess they're setting up Drew and Damian for. Yep. I'm assuming it's going to be like a no holds bar street fight, Falls Count Anywhere gist is what I'm assuming.
Yeah, the tag ladder match should probably happen. The way it's building, it has to be some big tag match.
I will say I did like Aldis's like whiteboard John Madden, like, we had these guys were feuding and then these guys attacked these guys. that was neat. Pretty Deadly coming out on top of that was not I did not see that one coming. I did assume it was going to be the Motor City Machine Guns. I don't think anybody thought it was going to be Las Garza. No offense, but those guys have just been jobbing out since they came back.
Which is a shame too, because they're both super talented.
Yeah.
Remember, like Humberto Carrillo was going to be like the next big thing for a while, and they were
Yeah, never.
pushing him like a son of a bitch, and then it was just like, but again, solid. Him
Yeah,
and
no,
Joel are
it's
both.
I just it's writing. They don't have stories for everybody, unfortunately.
No.
And that
And I
kind of
don't know, like, do they just need more? I don't have to. They don't need more writers. I don't think. I think sometimes there's too many cooks in the kitchen type of thing. But
it's a team that I wouldn't be against being dominant. Like I think would be a good like it's not a team that I couldn't see holding titles, put it that way. Like I you could absolutely put titles on them in the right way and I would go, yeah, that makes sense. These guys are impressive and could be good champions.
well, and the thing too is like there's so many tag teams right now on SmackDown that it's okay. Not so much like a hot potato situation with the title, but like let everybody have a little bit of a run. Like every team should at some point be on there. Remember when like La Resistance were fucking like
Yeah.
tag team champion? You know what I mean? Like let some people get a run with the title so that everybody's a threat to take the title away. Like you I think part of the, maybe it's just cuz I've been watching wrestling for over 30 years, but like there is a predictability to a lot of it where it's like, come on, man. Well, I mean, and then they swerve us with Pretty Deadly winning a match that we didn't expect them to win, kind of thing. So it's like,
Yeah.
okay, so every once in a while, it's fine to like kind of swerve us, but like sometimes you put people in a situation and you're like, all right, these guys aren't winning. Like,
Yeah.
There's not
Yeah.
even a chance of them winning.
Because even
right,
like that, I look at that four and I'm going, okay, which of these teams do I generally like? I immediately go, Los Gatos is not winning this. I just don't see them winning this because there's no build up to it. At least like Pretty Deadly kind of had a storyline with the like everybody to a degree. Uh,
yeah,
I definitely, like I said, I assumed it was Motor City Machine Guns just because the how over they are. Who was the other team in that? It was it a 3-way or a 4-way?
Because you have Street
Oh
Profits, you
yeah, it
have
was 3-way because Street Profits are already have their match next week, or well, I guess this
yeah.
coming week. Um, but no, I mean that's cool with me. I like you said, I like being tricked every now and then and throw a wrench in there. But yeah, it's becoming a bit predictable in some aspects.
also more Pretty Deadly on my screen. I'm cool with. So I don't know why I just enjoy those guys so
They're
much.
funny.
They're just,
No,
yeah,
it's a
they're
fun
just
group.
fun.
Um, Taking away a little bit from the main show, I did want to talk about Lex Luger officially named into the this year's class of the Hall of Fame. I you know what? I'm happy. That guy's really had had it rough and from what it seems like is putting a lot of good work in. For those who don't know, like Lex is pretty much body damaged and in a wheelchair. I don't know what the entire aspects of it is why he's in the wheelchair.
Wasn't it polio?
I don't remember.
Or no, it's fuck. He caught an infection in his spine due to steroid injections.
Oh shush.
Something, yeah.
That's I don't.
But yeah, Cody Rhodes surprised him at DDP's. I believe it was DDP's house while he was doing his routine with him, and they announced. And I just like the progress I've seen. I followed the story a bit just in his progress with DDP because it's really sad when you see somebody of what they were in the wrestling business and in effect can now barely get out of a wheelchair.
Yeah.
So any success for him, I applaud and I hope.
Also, pretty crazy for him to talk about Elizabeth in the sense of like taking not blame for like actually killing her, but because he was doing things and she was there and like
Yeah,
taking part of it. And he's like, maybe I did
yeah,
like
Yeah,
kill her, not in the sense that he physically killed her, but like,
led
but
to it.
was part of
I was the reason why Like, and that's heavy, dude. Like that's you know
Yeah, I mean,
because he
So-
loved her too. So it's like
Yeah.
obviously not like that's a lot.
He got injured in 2007 from a spine injury during a cross-country flight in 2007
Mm.
I always wonder what it
from
was.
Atlanta to San Francisco.
Gotcha.
And he just had swelling in his vertebrae.
Yeah, because everything I've seen them talk with DDP, he feels confident that if they can continue the work, that he might be able to walk again someday. Which would be awesome. I would hope that for him. I think
Met the guy. He's actually pretty nice.
that's what I've always heard. I've heard nothing but good things of him as an actual person nowadays. So, congrats to him. That's awesome. I have to look up who all's in this class now because I know it's Michelle McCool, Triple H again,
the natural disasters.
yeah,
Yep.
Luger, and
it.
then
and
Luger.
Luger. Yeah.
okay. How many do they usually do? Is it 4 or 5, or does it differ year to year? Is it always?
I cannot tell.
I always forget because I always know they kind of have like a few big name ones, and then have some lesser known, but like people they're
There's
paying
always a
homage
celebrity.
to.
There's always a
Yeah.
because
Ooh, I wonder who
last year was Paul Bull.
Oh my gosh, I'm blanking.
Not Victoria.
No. Jesus. Okay, hold on. Now I have to look it up because I'm also
Paul Heyman, Bull
Muhammad
Nakano.
Ali,
Yeah, Muhammad Ali, the U.S. Express, Liam
Maivia.
Maivia, and Thunderbolt Patterson. That was the entire class. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
6, 7 if you're
6.
counting. Yeah, but counting the team as one. So yeah.
I counted the team as 1.
well because it's one entry.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you can be double entered. Because you can be entered as yourself and you can be entered as a team.
As we learned this year.
No, because
Well,
DX,
yeah, I guess
multiple
DX.
members of DX are double Hall of Famers.
Are they?
I think Sean is. As DX is entered and he is entered. So
And
technically
entered.
he's double.
And I think
Booker T is
Waltman.
Ric Flair, Shawn
Waltman,
Michaels,
because
Booker T, Bret Hart, Hulk Hogan, Scott Hall, and Kevin Nash are all 2-time
Yeah.
inductees.
it would have to be
because-
Shawn. Well, I guess they didn't count Waltman in NWO, but I feel like they did.
I don't think they did. I think they count NWO
They
as
do.
Scott Hall
Is
Oh.
an X and New World Order. They count him in
Yeah.
both.
in the inductee, or
Yeah. I thought he was.
technically he's a member. That doesn't mean the inductee.
While two
I
two-time
think-
inductees were inducted twice as a member of a group, Sean Waltman and Barry Windham.
Okay.
So sorry, it was those I named, and then Sean Waltman and Barry Windham.
Okay.
The way it was written was weird. Was Barry Windham just put in as himself and then a member of the Four Horsemen? Is that?
Yeah.
I didn't remember that. That was the year that Bray passed away, wasn't it?
I think it was after.
Was it after? Or
Yeah.
sorry, that's what I
Was it
mean. It's like after he had passed away.
Well, that was last year.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus.
2024. Yeah. Oh, as a member of the U.S. Express. That's what it was.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Yeah,
Okay. I forgot he was. Yeah. I'm so unfamiliar with the U.S. Express. Okay. So the rest I have is all the title changes and a promo. So I don't know if there's any other in particular AEW things. I don't have anything AEW for my end of it tonight.
I have that.
I know Revolution. We'll probably cover that next week, since we didn't stay to watch, or we didn't watch all of it.
It like finished as we started recording.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm still mad about that. I'm mad about that ending.
Yes, I saw things that happened.
That isn't the most. Just. Ugh.
Look, I'm not saying anything.
So we had some belts change hands. Some
Surprisingly.
three, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll start with Sean Spears. So obviously, years in the making from his super kick from Shawn Michaels to stiff him with the handshake at the title defense. It was all storytelling.
Fucking Stan.
Stan, I just kicked Stan. That's it was a great match too. I got to watch that start to finish, and it is unfortunate that I don't think Tony D'Angelo will ever hit the main roster.
He will.
I just don't.
He might.
I don't know. It was a good drop though. I do like let Sean Spears get some love. I think that's definitely somebody that has deserved a bit of a run with something.
My guy Ty Dillinger.
Ty Dillinger's the perfect 10. Oh God. And what was he?
He was over as fuck as Ty Dillinger.
He was,
really
yeah.
was.
What
I
was
wouldn't
he
say
in
over.
AEW? The chairman?
Bro,
Was
he
The chairman.
when he came out at number 10 at the Royal Rumble,
Yeah.
And then they
everybody
did it
lost
again.
their shit. Yeah.
I mean, that doesn't make you over. That just makes everyone like, haha, funny thing.
It's a combination. I think it means you're
It's
over.
no, because it's the same thing as it's the same thing as Fandango. Everyone was dancing, but no one gave a fuck about him as a wrestler.
Yeah.
It's you care about the 10 gimmick, and that's about it.
What a gimmick. But yeah, good change. I'm excited to see what his reign looks like in NXT. I definitely could see him in what are they calling him? Ricky Saints. Yeah, that's I keep forgetting. I could see that down the line. That would be a good feud. And then two kind of surprising ones. So, and one of these is unfortunate because I hate, although I'm fine with LA Knight being the US champion. I like that. I do hate that Shinsuke didn't really get anything with his run again for like the third time.
Yeah. That seems to be a common theme, unfortunately.
And like, I want to blame writing, but like, there was like 3 weeks we didn't even have this guy on the show. Or like he was in the back doing whatever his sinister shit in the
Standing around.
background was. Like
Staring holes through people. Or whatever.
Yeah, like we can't have champions just not showing on TV for that long.
He's looking at me menacingly.
Standing there.
He's not even looking at me. He's just back there.
And it's a shame because like his whole new like dark samurai gimmick was really cool. Like I was about it.
I do enjoy. We've probably said this before, but I do enjoy the like just use of subtitles and let him speak comfortably in Japanese. I think that's more than fine.
Well, I think that was part of what surprised me is because he like dropped a really good promo. I think it was the night before, a week before. I can't remember exactly when it dropped. But I was like, oh yeah, they're probably gonna have him retain them with him dropping that. But then, no, I mean which I could see this being a continuation where it's gonna be him and Shinsuke because I just don't see them pairing anybody else other than like Logan Paul against LA Knight again or The Miz or somebody random. I would be fine with Shinsuke. They gotta write the story better. I don't know what it is with him where that's a guy that has such a cool character behind him, but no one seems to know how to use him.
Yep.
Every time, and it's because we said this when he got it from LA Knight, where it's like, okay, now that he's got it, let's capitalize
Well,
on
and it's
it.
weird because they knew how to use him in NXT.
Yeah,
and then you can blame Vince, but now it's Triple H in charge again, and he
also didn't
used
use
him well in NXT.
Yeah,
and you're like, okay, so what do we do? But I know you said KJ earlier that there's talks of his contract just not being renewed.
Yeah.
So
and
that
the
might
reason
be a
why
part.
he dropped the belt was
Yeah.
because they're not renewing and lack of interest.
Yeah.
But see, I just don't think it's lack of interest because of him.
No,
No,
I find
I
him
think
super interesting.
they fucked up not putting the title on him when he was feuding with AJ.
Yeah.
yeah.
No, I
Even if you didn't do it at Mania, and then you set up the low blow for the heel turn, and then you did it at a different event.
And then it
I
got
think-
worse with the Jinder Mahal thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Don't hinder the gender. Yeah, I still don't understand how that guy got a title reign. I really don't.
Because
Well,
WWE was trying to expand in India.
sorry, let me
That's
I understand. I disagree with.
well, that's two different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is he even doing now? Is he wrestling anywhere or
He's wrestling.
is it where
He
is
had that awful match with Bully Ray.
what promotion through?
Oh yeah.
Was it TNA?
AAA? I don't know.
Oh, sorry,
It wasn't TNA. It was some random ass promotion who get. I just remember it being bad because it's like him, Bully Ray, fucking Alberto El Dickhead.
hated to the grave.
Because wasn't he? Is he tag champs with fucking Satnam Singh in AAA?
It might be.
Oh my god, is he?
It's AAA or some. Or CMLL.
CMLL, I think. Because if it's with Satnam Singh, they have the partnership with AEW for CMLL. No.
I don't know why. I just think it's
Excuse.
You're fine. But yeah, I'll be curious who on the road to Mania with what 5 weeks now, 6 weeks,
Give or take.
give or take. Who we're gonna put if we're even gonna have the United States Championship on Mania. So 50-50.
I would hope.
Yeah, I feel like championships should all be like up for grabs on a Mania show, like especially with 2 nights now.
Yeah.
Although I understand there's a lot of championships now, but still something.
Well, especially with the women's mid card titles now being there, and then so you figure if you do just title matches alone, you have the 2 men's main titles, the 2 women's main titles, the 2 men's mid card titles, the 2 women's mid card titles, the 2 men's tag
team,
championships,
one
and then the
women's.
women's tag team
So
championship.
11 matches between 2 nights.
So that's 11 matches in 2 nights just for championship matches.
And then we're talking Priest and Drew, triple
Priest and
threat
Drew.
match.
CM Punk, Seth, and Roman. I don't know.
So-
maybe Jade and Naomi. I don't like
Yeah.
if they're doing
So,
that.
7. I think you could do 7 matches a night though, but I know they're not going to because like five
Yeah, that's-
is kind of their.
I mean, that would be great. Maybe during WrestleMania they could stop with all the fucking ads mid-show and
Yeah.
No, they had 7 matches a night. WrestleMania 40.
Okay. Yeah. So I mean,
Okay.
that.
But also, I was right. It is AAA. It's not CMLL.
Oh, okay.
AAA, Team India. Right?
Jesus Christ. Really on the nose
Well,
with that one.
Yeah,
and one of them's from Canada.
yeah.
Got him.
So, don't know what the fuck that shit's about.
Excuse me, guys.
I forgot Satnam saying you should play for the NBA.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What team do you play on?
Oh God.
I don't know.
I feel like
Take a wild shot.
it's either the Nuggets or the Mavs.
One of those is right.
Nuggets.
Nope.
Nope. Mad.
Mavericks. 4 years.
I'm not an NBA guy.
I don't know why I wanted to say he played on the Grizzlies, but he did not.
I could see that too.
Something about it just made sense.
Yeah.
But that was also like, was it Veer? It was like a
NFL, wasn't
He's
he?
still coming?
MLB player.
MLB.
Well, maybe minor league MLB. He was like a pitcher or something like that.
That would not have been the position I'd have assumed. That dude has catcher energy all over him. You can take that however you want. All right, that's not what I meant by it.
I didn't say anything.
No, it wasn't you. Olas gave me a
Oh
look.
yeah. So okay, this is exactly what I was thinking of. He was signed by the Pittsburgh Pirates in 2008 reality television show $1 Million Arm. He won a pitching contest.
Oh,
What a
He was the first Indian to play professional baseball and spent several seasons in minor leagues, reaching single A level. Yeah, and he was the subject of the movie $1 Million Arm.
Oh, huh.
But it just never amounted to, like, he never actually went to the majors and then transitioned to WWE. I don't know. What is he doing now? And any nothing. Not that I see. Like, there's no. I was just curious since we were talking athlete turned wrestler.
And then the last title swap for the night was probably the most surprising. Is we had Rhea Ripley drop the women's championship to Iyo Sky. With a disqualification that just got kind of ignored, but you know, that's fine.
yeah.
Whatever.
Don't talk about that.
And then came down to distraction. Not like, the usual, like, I'm getting up on the apron distraction.
Yeah.
She just
Walked
after
out
that whole
to
shove
cuss
match
out.
and then
Yeah. Got in
Yeah.
and tried to rip Tide from the ropes and got her Hurricanra'd off instead. And now Io's our new women's championship or women's champion. So
Second time being a interim champion going into Mania. Just
you
to drop
don't
the
know
belt.
that. You don't know that.
Second time going into Mania as an interim champ.
You don't
as a
know
belt holder.
that.
I'm gonna keep saying it.
I still think it
according
turns
to
into
the internet,
triple.
Rhea's pulling a Hogan and not wanting to drop the title at Mania to Bianca because that's not going to work for me, brother. Or...
It's not gonna work for me, brother. Oh, Lord.
I don't know. It's weird how, like, I just laugh at the internet. They're like, the reign of terror, like, and I'm like, I don't know, man. Did you ever watch TNA when, like, Jarrett was the title holder forever and, like,
God.
won every match he shouldn't have, kind of thing? Like, that's a reign of terror.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah.
No.
and to an extent, like Triple H, although he did drop it to Randy at one point, dropped it to Benoit at one point, dropped it to Goldberg at one point, ended up dropping it to Batista. Like,
Yeah.
whereas Jarrett went on that, like, legendary run in TNA for a long time, and it was like, all right, come on, let's go.
Yeah, I can't say it's a reign of terror. I mean, I think she's held it well and defended it well, and
She also has only had the title
for
back
a
for
few
like
months.
2 months.
Yeah.
Like, so I don't get it.
Lost getting it back twice, I think. If I remember correctly, she lost getting it from Liv twice. Or maybe I'm
At
thinking
least
losing
once?
it to Liv and then losing it in the cage, like Dom in the shark cage.
Did she even
Yeah.
lose it to live?
Yeah. Or no, maybe
No.
because I
No,
thought
Becky
she
lost
came
it.
back. Yeah,
Oh,
she
that's
came
what-
back and
yeah.
challenged at SummerSlam and
And that's
lost
when
when
Dom
everybody thought she
turned.
was gonna
Yeah.
win. Yeah,
But yeah,
because she was injured after Mania.
Yeah.
She was injured. Becky won it in a tournament, I guess.
yeah,
Yeah, something like that.
And then Becky lost it in Saudi Arabia to live.
that's right.
Yeah.
And then was never seen again.
Then she has another kid. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. I still think it's going to be a triple threat that Rhea will
Yeah.
find a way to
I just see this as Rhea turning heel and being like going into Mania.
yeah.
So
One
you can
of
have a
Bianca
heel in this.
or Rhea, somebody one of them's got to turn heel.
Yes. Or they'll swerve us and it'll be Iyo.
Yeah. And then to finish the night, obviously we had the Cody Rhodes post getting the shit beat out of him by Travis
Looking
Scott.
like Prince
and,
Zuko.
Yeah, looking like Prince Zuko. After Travis Scott beat the shit out of him with the help of John Cena and The Rock.
He should have never been in that fucking ring.
Should not
I
have been.
stand by
No,
it.
yeah, absolutely shouldn't have been. Who at the end of the promo obviously utters John Cena's famous quote, "If you want some, come get some." So I don't think we're ever gonna see John at
Pretty
any.
sure that was like Billy Gunn's quote first, but that's
Was it? I don't know.
I think so.
I don't think we'll see John anytime soon, other than like video package promo, maybe. I mean, I doubt, because I think he's shooting a movie in Africa right now.
Yeah.
So I don't.
I think he's scheduled for like the last 2 Raws or SmackDowns before Mania.
Is it? Okay.
So we're gonna see him in person
At least at one of them.
at least once.
Okay. But yeah, that was the week. Some good stuff, some interesting stuff, some surprising stuff. Is there, Jim? Is there anything else you wanted to touch on before we sign off for the night?
No, I need my head to touch a pillow.
There you go.
I'm fucking beat.
All right, well, we'll keep it at that. As always, we've enjoyed having you. If you're watching this, please like, subscribe, and comment. And we will catch you guys on the other side of the ring. Have a good night.
Rest in peace, Biggie. 28 years.